Hi friends, welcome back to The Humbled Therapist. Today we are going to be talking about what does it mean if I have a diagnosis. Oftentimes people will ask me, I have a diagnosis, now what? Or how do I know if I have a diagnosis? Now, to be perfectly clear, it is very important to remember that only a mental health professional can diagnose you. Now, when you do receive a diagnosis, from a mental health professional, what it basically means is that you meet criteria for a certain brand of diagnosis. Now, these diagnoses are found in the DSM. This stands for Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. All right, this is a big fat book that mental health professionals use to diagnose. And common to all diagnoses are two things that have to be met in order for you to be diagnosed with anything, okay? The first one is definitely this diagnosis or these symptoms have to be severe enough to be impeding your ability to carry out daily tasks, right? So it's impairing your ability to go to school, to keep a job, to go grocery shopping, whatever it is, but that is one of the main things that it has to be occurring in order for you to have a diagnosis. Secondly, it has to be severe enough to impede your ability to have satisfying relationships, right? So maybe it's impacting your relationship with your family. Maybe you can't get a significant other because of the social anxiety piece. Whatever it may be, these are the two main things that have to be in play for you to receive that diagnosis. So again, whatever that list of symptoms may be, those two things are very, very important when diagnosing something. Why is that important? Because somebody might feel sad, somebody might feel the blues every once in a while, or have some symptoms of anxiety. However, they're not severe enough to be impairing their ability to live or to have satisfying relationships. That means that it's manageable, right? Now, when we do receive a diagnosis, I know that it can feel like the end of the world. It can feel very devastating. Like, well, I have a diagnosis, now what? And I want to tell you that there is hope. Simply because now you have a name for this list of symptoms does not mean that it's the end of the world. In fact, there is an odd comfort in knowing that there is a name for your symptoms out there, right? This means that this has been researched enough and known about enough for there to be a name for it. Plus, the fact is that you were already dealing with these symptoms before you had a name for it. Now you just know what it's called, right? So nothing really has changed other than now you can say, oh, I've been diagnosed with X, Y, or Z, okay? But the truth of the matter is that you survived up to this point of receiving the diagnosis, and you will continue to survive after it, okay? Now we just know what it's called, and therefore we can get a better handle on how to treat it. And in knowing the name and knowing your diagnosis and being able to treat it, I want to tell you that there is hope, okay? There is hope for whatever condition it is. Why? Because it is known. And I know it sounds kind of weird to say, but you're not the first or the last person that is going to get this diagnosis. And that's why there's so much out there to help you in getting through it. I want to share a quote that relates very much to this topic, and it reads as follows. Now, depression is smaller than you. Always, it is smaller than you. Even when it feels vast, it operates within you. You do not operate within it. It may be a dark cloud passing across the sky, but if that is the metaphor, you are the sky. You were there before it, and the cloud can't exist without the sky. But the sky can exist without the cloud. This is a quote from Matt Haig, and you can substitute depression for any diagnosis or any mental illness. And what I'm trying to say is, whatever this diagnosis is, it is within you. You are still bigger than it. You will find a way to overcome it, right? This diagnosis operates within you and not the other way around. So please know that there is hope and there is help out there for you. And like I've said before, one of the reasons why I decided to call this The Humbled Therapist It is because of the fact that I am so humbled by watching and being a witness to people's resilience. The people that come to my office and share with me and tell me about how they've been dealing with these symptoms even before they sought out professional help. So I want to encourage you, if you have a diagnosis or if you think that you might have a diagnosis because you're feeling like you just can't do what you have to do or you can't keep satisfying relationships, there is help and there is hope for you. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have a close friend or family member that you know would benefit from these videos, please feel free to share with them. Tell them about this channel, tell them about the blog. The links are going to be right below. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much for that. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe below. Again, I am so excited to be sharing with you all, and I'm very, very much appreciative for everyone's support. I hope you have a good week.